Lila growled. What happened to you? She doesn't have a wolf, Mom. The bond won't make her love me. He could hear the pain in his voice. He didn't want anyone else to hear it. To the world, he was the one pushing her away. What are you talking about? Only wolves can be bonded. Only wolves can be dedicated and true mates. Anyone else is just a choice. Is that what you think happened with Mandy and Steven? Lila asked. Reese slammed his teacup down. I know what happened. I was there. You were practically a child, Lila roared. 7 years. You haven't learned anything about love. What should I learn, Mom? And from who? Dad died, and he didn't need to say anything more. Love took 7 years away from you, but it gave me so much more than that. That girl may not change into a wolf, but she is wolf enough. She was born and raised as Pack. That makes her Pack. Like Mandy was Pack. She was a human. She betrayed us. Stupid Steven loved her. But Mandy didn't have a wolf. She had no reason to love us or stay with us. Reese, no. You wanted to talk, so I'm talking. How can you ask me to trust who the goddess chose for me when Mandy is proof that the goddess makes mistakes? Silence filled the room. His chest heaved with the force of his emotions. He'd kept that in for so long. Reese, honey, you know that the goddess didn't choose Mandy for Steven, right? Reese didn't understand. What? His question was little more than a breath. No, they were mates. They were, yes, they chose to be. Steven hadn't met his true mate yet, but he fell in love with Mandy and wanted to be with her. His mom had to be wrong, right? He couldn't have built the last 7 years of his life on a misunderstanding of fate. I guess we never talked about it with you. When Mandy joined us, we didn't want her to feel different just because she was wolfless. But Mandy wasn't like your Trinity. She wasn't half wolf. She was utterly human. The goddess had nothing to do with what happened to Steven or your dad. Mandy was a bad person, but not because she didn't have a wolf. But Mandy wasn't the only woman who had broken his faith. What about the others? He asked. All the women that came after me. Lila's eyes flared protectively. What women? When I first became alpha, there were so many of them. Women who wanted power or money, and women who were sent by men to manipulate me. I didn't see it at first. I thought they wanted me. They never did, though. They wanted to be the new Luna. He never let them in the Alpha house. At first, it was out of respect for his parents' home, but then it was because the women wanted it too badly. They would do anything to get inside, but not Trinity. Trinity had fought not to be there. She wanted her own life, even if it meant losing the power and status that came with being his Luna. Why had it taken him this long to realize that? Oh, honey. I am so sorry you had to deal with that on your own. I could have helped you so much sooner, before you let this hatred take over your heart. Do you want to know why I believe so strongly in the bond? Why? Because I've known life with and without it. And when your dad died and I felt the bond ripped away from me, Reese, it took everything in me just to stay alive. And that's proof of just how strong the mate bond really is. She lifted a hand to cup his cheek. Those other women don't have any power over you. Stop acting like they do. Is Trinity anything like them? No, he answered immediately. So why are you punishing her for what they did? You have been awful to her. And she still told me to come see you. When? Tonight? Not tonight. When I was sleeping. That's why I recognized her voice. I heard someone calling out to me, asking me to be there for you. It was her. Reese's heart stopped at that confirmation. He hadn't wanted to believe it, but it was all starting to make sense. Why Trinity didn't have a wolf. Why the others wanted her so badly. Why her eyes had shone with a triple iris when they were dealing with the warlocks. Mom, there's something I want to tell you. He wasn't sure if he was right, but he had to tell someone. What is it? I think I know who Trinity's father is.
Want to know what happens next? Click on the link in the description below to watch further episodes of Chosen by Fate, Rejected by the Alpha.